So welcome, join with us today and Connect to Thrive Mastermind with Toni Harris Taylor. Toni's talk is entitled Viral Marketing Strategies to Make Six Figures and Beyond. If you want your business to go viral, you must show up, be up, and follow up. Having an attractive brand and getting out to the world can be easily achieved when you know how to show up. The key to attracting clients is to develop, know, like, and trust, KLT, and build deeper connections. In today's mastermind, we will help you learn the key strategies to take your business viral. Learn why the target marketing is key to going viral. Learn why having a market dominating position will help your business go viral. Learn how networking will take your business viral. And learn social media relationship building strategies to take your business viral. Please join us in welcoming our guest speaker today, Toni Harris Taylor.
Yay! Thank you, Randy and
You're
friends.
welcome. You're
so
welcome.
Nice to meet you. We're
Likewise.
going to talk about those things and then some. And so I'm going to share my screen. And thank you, David, for the invitation. I believe I was referred to you by Jeff Klein. Shout out to Jeff, who's not in the room, but he's a great connector of people. And so thank you, Jeff, for me being here. Can everybody see my screen? I can see everybody. So I can still see your nodding heads. I have two screens going. So if my vision goes here, I'm looking at the slide, but I can also see all of you because this is going to be not just a presentation, but a mastermind conversation. We learn best from one another. And so when I call for you to open your mics, please share, please don't hide behind the screen. Let's have some interactive dialogue that we all can use and win with. So viral marketing strategies for drastic results. When I say the term viral, take your business viral, unmute yourself, tell me what you think that means. Ricky.
Lots of money.
Lots of money. Okay. All right. All right. Very good. What else? Who else?
I think viral as far reaching. Okay, there are no limits to where you can target your audiences, and particularly today with all the technology we have.
Excellent, excellent. So reaching out, far reaching, excellent. Who else? One more comment. I say viral. Go ahead, Mohammed.
Exposure to
exposure.
The social, yeah.
Awesome. So many times when I say viral, people think it means the number of likes, the number of views, the number of shares, the number of comments. They immediately go to social media. Did anybody's mind go there first? And it's common. But here's what viral really is. And I got to experience it personally recently. So recently I was speaking on a platform just like this. And there were about 30 people there, and someone unmuted himself and says, I can't wait to hear from Toni Harris Taylor. He said, this is the second time I've heard her name today. This morning, I was in a meeting with a billionaire, and her name came up. That, ladies and gentlemen, is viral. Now, he lives in Charlotte. The billionaire lives in St. Louis, and my name is reaching out. Just like I just said great things about Jeff Klein in a room where he isn't here, that is going viral. So yes, when you go viral, yes, you can equate it to more money. It should equate to more money in your business. It should equate to more relationships, which is more collateral than money. Where people are saying your name and referring you business and introducing people, places, and things to you, and holding the door open for you. Just like Jeff held the door open for me to walk through and meet David. The more doors that get held open for you means that you and your brand are going viral. So I want to tell you the bio was excellent. From my point of view, here's who I am, CEO and founder of Drastic Results. Drastic is the word that permeates everything I teach my clients to be, and everything that I am. Drastic. Nobody is successful inside their comfort zone. Not one human reaches their success inside their comfort zone. Here's another news flash. Not one human reaches their success by themselves. They've always got to have other people. So I'm an award-winning network and action franchisee, NIA for short. They are, for lack of a better term, a competitor to BNI. I think we sit right in the middle of BNI and Vistage. And so we are all about helping entrepreneurs to connect, build relationships, community, so that we can help each other to grow. And we have education and training as well as relationships. I'm an international speaker, and certainly Zoom has made that easier, but I have actually traveled to international companies and spoke on stages. TV talk show host, 8-time author, super excited, and I'm a book collaborator. This book, Viral Networking for Drastic Results, written with my Network and Action members as well as my coaching clients, was #1 Amazon bestseller 2 weeks ago today. And so we were in the marketing, we hit #1 in marketing and in the sales categories. So I'm super proud of that, because my members joined for networking and come out authors. Very, very best-selling authors at that. So that just sweetens their resume. And then I'm known as the coach that connects. So my market dominating position, if you will, that differentiates me from every other coach out there is I'm targeted to sales and marketing, and I am the coach that connects. And nobody, no other coach connects people the way I do, period. I'll stand on that. I've seen, and you'll see in a little while what I mean by that. And then I'm a mother of 2 adult children. My son is 33, my daughter is 30, and I'm 32. So we're an anomaly in the scientific world. People want to know, how do I stay 30 and my kids get older? My son says, Mom, you got to stop saying you're 30. I'm 33. I said, you know what, son? As long as people think I'm your girlfriend, I do not. So I will remain 30 as long as people say, is that your girlfriend? And then I'm a grandmother of 3 little precious boys. All right, so I just recently won this beautiful award here as the 2022 Entrepreneurs. Did y'all know that was a word? That's French, a female entrepreneur. So Entrepreneurs Empower Networker of the Year by Mr. Dr. George C. Frazier, who is like the godfather of networking in Black America. And he loves to say, yes, I am Black. So, so imagine what your business would look like if you could easily attract your ideal clients to fill your pipeline so that you could close more sales. Lead generation. Listen, when we started our businesses, Dia started her business because she wanted to help leaders be better leaders, right? Bernie started his business because he wanted to help women get free from some of the caregiving responsibilities, right? Ricky wanted to write songs. Nobody told y'all had to be marketers first. Am I right? Most of you said, perfect your craft, get good at what you do, practice that guitar for hours and hours and hours, and still nobody knows about you if you don't learn to market yourself. You don't believe me? Remember when Miss Beyonce first started? Y'all all know Beyonce, right? Right? So when she first started, was she the best singer in the world? No, still not. Best entertainer, hands down, right? But was not the best singer. Her dad, who used to work with my mom at Xerox, was a sales guy. He understood branding and marketing, and he had those girls everywhere. That's the same thing as our business. We have to be expert marketers because it doesn't matter how good you are at what you do if nobody knows about you. And it's frustrating. I've spent all this time getting certified, getting my education, perfecting my craft, and I'm still not making any money. You've got to get the marketing part. So I hated it too. And I especially hated networking, which I love and teach now. I remember going to events, passing out business cards like they were poker cards. Here, you take one, you take one, you take one. And then I was cute too, and I looked good. And I come back to the office and I'd sit and wait for the phone to ring. Phone never rang. So I'd do it again. Go to the events. And that was back in the day. So I'd go to the events, I'd pass out business cards, I'd take business cards. And then nothing happened. To this day, still, people pass out business cards, they put their names in chat. How many of you have ever really taken a chat list and went down the list and contacted each person to say, I wanted to connect with you? Most of us do not. So we are busy putting our names in chat and nothing's happening. So I'm going to teach you some strategies that's going to help you to make it happen. So this talk is for you if you're a business owner, you're done with struggling to find your ideal clients. This talk's for you if you hate cold calling and DM pitching. This talk's for you if you want to stop struggling to find clients and get more referrals. And this talk's for you if you want to stop being invisible and show up everywhere. That's another thing. You go viral when people think you are everywhere. I get that all the time. Oh my gosh, you're everywhere. So I use tools to help me appear like I'm all over, and I am. So you're going to learn today some strategies to take your business viral, how to follow up, or how not to follow up better. I'm going to give you a strategy where you don't follow up, you don't even have to do. And then how to use social media to build those relationships that turns those contacts into contracts. If any of you are interested, you may download my free gift to you, my ebook, Profitable Networking During COVID and Beyond, How to Get Six Figures in a Virtual World. You can go to sixfigurenetworking.com. You can also just scan this code. So I'll put this in the chat as well. That way you can go. I just typed it with 1 slash. Anybody know why we have to have 2 slashes? I don't. I'm just curious. All right. So here's the problem. If you don't learn how to effectively market your business, you can't get qualified prospects, referrals, you stay invisible, and ultimately you won't be able to make the money you need. And it all starts with relationships that lead to revenue. So let's go over the 6 steps, and I want to mastermind these steps. So step 1, my opinion is you've got to have an attractive, unique, memorable brand that attracts your target audience. Okay, so unique and memorable. My brand is drastic. I'm still surprised. I'm the only person out there talking about being drastic. If you look in the background, you can see that's my license plate. That's my real license plate. My drastic plate on my red car. I am known for the color red. It's in the glasses. Okay, I have 11 pair of glasses, so they're not always red, but today they are red. The wall is red. The logo is red. The car is red. The top, anytime I speak, I wear red. People often are like, why aren't you wearing red? So I have a brand that people recognize. Now, some of you probably know Mr. John Chin. John recently sent me an article. It had drastic in the title. He said, this article made me think of you. That's when you know you have a viral brand. So my question to you is, what's your brand and how can we take it viral? So I like the warrior and the zombie brand. I'm gonna stop sharing for now so we can talk about it. Okay. And I was a little so-so when I heard the zombie part. I was a little so-so because we live in a very spiritistic world and I didn't want to be associated with that. I'm just saying. So Dave, tell us more about your brand and how you came to get that brand. Oh, you're on mute. You're still on mute. You're still on mute. Hey.
I learned from John Chen, actually. And so the reason you see the spotlights and all that stuff is because that's running an engaging meeting, which is his brand.
Right.
So actually, my brand is the warrior versus zombie. The zombie part, although that's probably the most memorable these days, because I get 400 downloads a week on the podcast, and it's unique. It's really the warrior part. We're actually, for those that are in the network, they know this is, networking warriors. I'm actually doing more with the warrior part because we're all warriors. I believe that, as you've heard, since you were a podcast guest, you know that we all have a history of ups and downs, wins and losses that are all part of making us who we are up to this point. And warriors keep moving forward. So, but however, the zombie part is very simply, some people call it the reptilian brain, some people call it, but we all have zombies in our head first, and then also in our world that trigger zombies in our head. So we start moving not forward in our own intention, but in fact, making the same decisions today that we made yesterday. And if you make the same decisions you made today that you made yesterday, then the result of that, your destiny is your history, and you don't want that.
All right,
So
very good.
that's the brand.
Awesome, love that. All right, very good. Does anybody else want to share their brand and how they came up with it? Bernie, I want to hear from you, First Class Caregivers. How'd you come up with that brand?
What it does, it kind of keeps us in our quality lane. Okay, it's a bit intimidating to have the name First Class Caregivers and not deliver quality. So it does that. It also gives us license to do premium pricing. Okay. And of course, we're private pay, so not everybody can kind of afford us. So it kind of delivers the message that we're aiming at the upper 10% of the marketplace.
Got it. Very good. Excellent. Okay, very good. I like how you said, because of the brand, I can charge more because automatically First Class means you pay more. So I love that. Excellent. So let's keep it moving. This here is my client. I'm going to share my screen. My client, Arba Cooper. Arba is the digital technologist. When I met her, she was myarba.com. I was like, what does that mean? So after doing some work with her, we've came up with the digital technologist. And what she does is she teaches entrepreneurs how to use digital technology. And so she's created a brand that is now going viral. We were shocked that it was still available. But when something is for you, it's there for you. And so, and one of the things that I'm best at is promoting my clients. So that's Arbor Cooper. Step number 2, to go viral. You got to learn how to have real networking strategies. Real networking strategies. What do I mean? As I already said, stop attending events. passing out business cards, waiting for something to happen. You have to make it happen. And so how do you do that? Number one, you invite people to schedule a one-to-one. What is a one-to-one? A one-to-one is a first date. Did you know networking was like dating? You're sifting through people to see who you can have a relationship with that is mutually beneficial for business. What's the difference between networking for business and networking for a relationship? You know, when I was a little younger, doing the club thing, we all in the same generation here, so y'all can remember, doing the club thing, looking for Mr. Looked so good, and he found me, caught my eye, across a crowded room. He sashayed up to me and said, "Girl, can I buy you a drink?" Yes, absolutely. He buys me a drink. We have a conversation. He says, "Girl, I really want to get to know you more. I'm going to call you and we're going to go out." He asked me, "What's your phone number?" I give him my number and he says, "I'm going to call you tomorrow." Hey, yeah. I gave him the right number, by the way. Back in the day, we could fake the numbers. Now we can't fake it because then he's going to call you right there. So I gave him the right number. Next day, Bernie, I'm waiting for my call. I'm checking the phone. Y'all remember dial tones? Is this thing on? Now, I got a lot of men in here, so Dia and Ruth can probably follow me. Is this thing on? He said he was going to call. Next day, no call. Third day, no call. The buster never calls. How much more effective would it have been if he was serious that he would book a date on the calendar right then and there, right? So back in the day, we didn't have electronic calendars, but today we have no excuses. So when I go to events, virtual or in person, I leave every event with at least 3 appointments. Why? Because I'm intentional and I'm drastic. And I don't have time to waste by just coming onto a camera, showing my face and leaving with nothing but a chat that I know full well, personally, I don't have time to follow up on. So while I'm at the event, I am going to book appointments on the spot. Nobody else is teaching their clients that. It's an art to it. It's drastic to do it. And then what do you say when you're on the appointment is also very important. Today, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't hear me say anything else, I need you to hear me now. Never attend another event without leaving with appointments. Not numbers, not links, not cards, appointments. Not sales appointments, relationship building appointments. Because that's where it starts. After you have the first date, you figure out if she's worth it or not. And if she's not, okay, nice to meet you. I gave you 30 minutes of my life. I'll never get back. It's not the worst 30 minutes I ever spent, and move on. But sometimes you have appointments with people and they become your new referral partner. They become your new best friend, because we all need friends in entrepreneurship. Nobody can do this alone, right? You know, if I told you Jesus needed 12, if he needed 12, why you think you got to do it by yourself? I'm gonna drop the mic right there, all right? So these are relationship building appointments to figure out how you can help each other, right? Any comments or thoughts, mastermind thoughts about what I'm saying here?
If you have anything, just open your mic and I will spotlight you. So you don't know, Randy, don't raise your hand. Just open your mic and I'll see. Okay.
Well, I wasn't sure if I could open my mic fast enough, so that's why I raised my hand.
I got you, brother. I got you.
Okay,
Ricky or I'll do that.
So I think, you know, you said something they're about, it's not just a one-on-one. And, some people think, well, okay, I'm going to have a one-on-one with Randy or, whatever. And then they pitch. They pitch, what they would pitch in the networking group, or they sit and they listen, but they don't ask any questions. To me, the one-on-one relationship is an opportunity to get to know each other. Excuse me while I get the cat down.
I was going to say, and the cats.
And the cat. Get to know each other. This is my baby. And to build a relationship. Okay,
That's right.
because once you build a relationship, then you can be in a conversation someplace else, and somebody will say something, and you know what? I recently just met somebody who I think you need to meet, and I will set that up for you. So that's what I got to say.
Thank you so much, Randy. You know what? You can tell if you really understand networking by the number of introduction text messages you send and the number of introduction emails you send. Otherwise, you're not a real networker. I know I just stepped on some toes. I know you think because you click on the link or you go drive across town that you're networking. You're not networking till you have helped somebody else. Period. With a T on the end. So, okay, I'm gonna keep going. So this is Caitlin. Caitlin's my NIA client, and she is a branding expert out of Phoenix, Arizona. Caitlin also sponsored the Viral Networking Conference last year, and through her sponsorship, because Caitlin's a beast about getting appointments, I gamify getting appointments at my conference every year. Caitlin has been the two-time appointment champion. The first event was all virtual. She got over 24 appointments. The second event was in person and virtual. She got virtual appointments and in-person appointments, over 40, and has made over $30,000 from my network. She also found her business partner at my event, which, by the way, I'm going to invite you guys to at the end of this call. So show up, play full out, help somebody else. Your networking will be amazing. Step number 3, go viral. You need to speak more to sell more. Speaking is a great way for you to attract your ideal clients to your brand. Not just speaking though, because speaking is an art and you've got to learn the signature talk formula. So not just getting up and rambling, you got to have a formula to speak so that you will attract your ideal client. And speaking is not just on your stage, which you can create your own events, and I teach my clients how to do that, but more importantly, speaking on other people's stages like I'm doing today. It doesn't matter how many people show up. All I need is 1 or 2 people to take action, right? So speaking on other people's stages, getting into other people's networks is how you go viral. So I have 7, 8 more people who know who I am now as a result of doing good work with Jeff. He likes me, introducing me to Dave. Dave likes me, introduced me to y'all. That's how you go viral. Anybody want to say anything about speaking? Bernie, I have a suggestion for you. Oh, Dave, okay, go ahead.
Go ahead.
So
I'm sorry.
I'll come back to Bernie in just a second, but on the topic of speaking, and again, running a networking group, running several networking groups, having community, speaking is the next level networking, if you want to say becoming viral, by getting your message out and getting it to the point where you're adding value. Because again, giving referrals and adding value is the investment that you make in having people becoming viral, because then your return on investment is the people know you, right?
Absolutely.
That's what you're saying. So speaking gets you known. Same thing as writing a book, same thing as having a podcast. Those are all ways that you can elevate your networking to the next level. And we all have value. We all have value we can offer. So that's, you asked, so I'm answering. In my
I love
opinion,
that. You
Yeah.
hit the nail on the head. It's the next level. So I network to get speaking gigs. Right? Bernie, come on, because I have a suggestion for you. Are you speaking, Bernie, to promote first class caregivers?
Am I speaking? Like speeches or speaking?
Like I'm doing right now.
I don't think so.
I don't think so either. You have to say, So
Right.
here's my suggestion for you, Bernie, specifically. There are 1 zillion women's networks out there. Creating a lunchtime talk and going to these women's groups and speaking to them about less stress caregiving, how to take care of themselves while they take care of others. And oh, by the way, I can help you with some of that. Hire us to relieve some of your stress.
I think that's a wonderful idea.
Oh yeah, this is what I do best. So let's talk later and I will help you to frame that. But you understand that it's perfect for your target audience. And most of the women in the audience are current caregivers or like me. My mom's 76. She still works every day, but one day I'm planning for being a caregiver.
So let me connect the dots here with Tony's suggestion to Bernie, which by the way is excellent. And when you're talking about creating a speak to sell signature talk, and there are different people who teach different methodologies, but the reality of it is you're educating people who potentially, not always, but will potentially become your client or will know your client. So giving those women, as Toni had suggested, giving them your insights, what you're discovering in your business, the challenges that they're probably all experiencing, and how to, giving them value about how to deal with that themselves first. And then if they find that, hey, I'd like to have you do it for me, then that's a beautiful speak to sell topic, right? So, and I could go through this list of people. I could go through Don Huff. I could go probably through Muhammad. I can go through everyone here. And I know Toni can with her clients because I could tell that's part of her fabric of what she does. It really is about, that's when I say taking your networking to the next level. You're serving your audience in a bigger way and giving them more understanding of what it's like to go along the journey with you in the process.
Yep. Yay! Yay! I get spurts of brilliance sometimes. That was one. So Bernie, you and I need to talk. Click my link in the chat, right? And even if those women don't need you today, they know somebody, or when they do, you will resonate and you'll get them on your email list by giving them a giveaway, and you'll stay connected to them with email marketing. And then when they need you, they refer you. It was so interesting. Yesterday, I got my last sponsor. I sold out of sponsorships for my conference yesterday. And the lady, I didn't know who it was. And I said, who is this? So I called her and I said, hey, thanks for your sponsor. She did top level, $2,000 sponsorship. I'm like, who are you? I was like, thanks for sponsoring. How did we meet? And she said, I met you at a conference, the one where I got the award in August. She said, and I've been on your email list and I'm just watching you on social media and I want to play with you. Okay. So that's the way it works.
That's viral, by the way.
That's
viral. That's what you're talking about. That's exactly it helps you go viral.
Thank you. So this is Muncie. Muncie's one of my early coaching clients. She's gorgeous. She did not want to speak. I'm like, girl, you got to get out there and educate these people about credit and how it can change their life if they restore their credit. Child, she outspeaking me. She international, all world girl. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, I'm just so proud that she's gone viral using speaking. Step number 4, video. Video is a great way to go viral. Use video to spread your message. So Muhammad, I think you said you're a sales trainer. Everybody needs sales training. I don't know where you want to take it. I know you're a corporate, but if one day you want to leave corporate, entrepreneurs need sales training all day long. Create videos around sales, marketing. You follow me, go to YouTube, Toni Harris Taylor. I have a channel. I'm talking about networking and marketing, right? And then I use those videos, and I don't have a zillion views, although I do have a Facebook video that has 5.6 million views. No money from that, except that it's used in my marketing, which gets me money from that. Y'all see that? So video makes an instant connection. Even though we're in different places, I think y'all feel me, you feel my energy, you feel my passion, because I use video. Bernie, that's your next step too. Video is critical for what you do. Critical. Interviewing people, interviewing doctors, interviewing healthcare workers, doing a video cast. I don't really love podcasts. I love Dave, but I don't love listening to podcasts. I like video. Then I can listen if I can't watch. But video, you don't get the same. You see what's happening here? So using video to spread your message. Anybody got anything to say about video and how it's worked for your business? Or you want to do more of it? What holds you back from doing video?
Well, video is one of the first things that people ask me for, a video link. Whenever someone's talked about just me as a solo performer, storyteller, or I'm doing a duet show or a trio, they want to see what they're buying. And listening to it is one thing, but they want to see it.
Absolutely. So, and you're in music, so listening should be a natural. It shouldn't even be about the video, but now we're in a visual world. It's almost expected. It's like, how serious you about your business if you don't have video? Okay, Bernie, go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. I was just listening.
Okay. So you should also have a 30-second commercial. We watch TV, there are 10-second, 15-second, 30-second commercials all the time, but as small business owners, somehow we negate that. You need a commercial that talks about who you are and what you do. So video. So at my upcoming viral networking conference, my client, Sheila, who's a realtor, and her coach at the time, not me, told her to do door knocking. Now I'm Jehovah's Witnesses, and I don't tell people to do door knocking. I don't want to knock on the door for my business. I'll knock on the door for him, but not for me. And so Sheila was the same way. She's like, I'm not knocking on no doors. Well, Sheila started using video, and her coach had told her not to. She started using video, her real estate business. She was brand new to real estate. Her real estate business blew up. And now she coaches entrepreneurs and realtors how to use video to attract their ideal client and go viral. So Sheila's speaking at my conference. I'm very proud of her because Sheila, you can't really tell now, but she has something called Cruzan syndrome. If you Google it, it's a facial birth defect, and it is very distorting of the face. If anybody should have the head noise about not looking good on camera, it might be Sheila because of her history. But she's going to teach you all how to use video and feel good about it at my upcoming event. Step number 5, using technology to stay connected. So As I already stated, you all, some of you click the six-figure networking link, you scan the code, you use these opportunities to get people on your list, and then you continue to market to them. And what happened to me yesterday happens all the time. Somebody sees something in my newsletter and they're like, I want to play. I've gotten so much business from, and we think because we send out a newsletter and we don't get a ton of replies, people are watching. And when they're ready, they'll raise their hand and say, I'm ready. I just signed someone yesterday for a $5,000 VIP coaching day. She's been in my network for 8 years. And she saw me speak on Friday, speak more to sell more. She saw me speak on Friday and said, I'm ready. And when I dropped the price, she said, oh my gosh, you have gone up. I say, lady, I love you. It's taken you 8 years to say yes to me. So you should have said it back then. But since you didn't, I have to charge you because otherwise you won't do the work. That's a whole nother sales conversation we're going to have at my conference as well. And she said, you're right, because she's a doctor and even $5,000 probably isn't a big stretch for her. But we have to charge people so that they will do the work. So this is Larry. Larry is also a sponsor, and Larry is a technology guy. So automation, right? And so some of the things like if you did the six-figure networking, it's automated to automatically deliver you that that document, that ebook. And so he sets up all the automation that you need so that when you speak, you give something away, they text to join, and then et cetera, et cetera. So Larry is amazing. He doesn't love networking either, but through our network, he hadn't had to. He's making money. And I'm like, you haven't even started marketing yet because of relationships. He says, I'm a believer now. So Larry is amazing. Step number 6, be seen everywhere. People tell me all the time, Toni, I see you everywhere. This is Val. Val is a copywriter. Val is everywhere. How do you do that, Val? How are you on every one of my live videos? How are you at every one of my networking events? And she is a caregiver. Bernie, she is your target client, period. She and her sister struggle with this caregiving thing. So we're in Houston. I don't know if you have people out here, but let's talk about that as well. But she does it, and she's everywhere, and she's taken her business viral because of the network. So show up everywhere. So how many of you hate social media? Yeah, thank you for the honesty. Yeah, well, I'm going to tell you to get over it. It ain't going nowhere. Figure it out. Your people are there. And let me tell you how social media works. So I network. I'm going to give you the whole sequence. I network. I go to an event. I always get a date with the center of influence, the connector, that person who's put it all together. Always get a date with that person. I'm often surprised how many times people do not approach me for dates. I think they assume I'm too busy, but I'm teaching this stuff. So I should be the first date on anybody's calendar. I'm the connector of people. So you always get on the date. So I network. They have speakers. Okay, I want to be a speaker. Can I get on your calendar? Get on their calendar. We have a date. I tell them what I speak about. I asked, are you open to having me come speak to your audience? Yes, great. I speak. I have a powerful signature talk. In the signature talk, I have a way to get people on my list, give them something of value. I give them my ebook. They get on my list. I'm going to make you an offer to come to my conference. Sometimes I just say, get on my calendar and let's talk about how I can help you. But it's the whole sequence. Then I'm going to connect with some of y'all on social media. Social media is the fertilizer to the seeds you plant when you're networking and speaking. so that when the person is not available or ready to work with you, they keep seeing you on social media. That's the other thing the doctor says. I see you everywhere on social media.
Yep.
8 years. It's fertilizer. Networking is seed planting. Speaking is water. Social media is fertilizer. I hope y'all see that. All right. I didn't confirm. What time is this over?
Right now, it's we end promptly at 1 p.m. our time.
I'm almost
So
done. Perfect. I'll
at
be done.
about 10 till we'll if you haven't landed the plane, we'll land the plane, which would include your offer and stuff. So so that's
I'm
where we're
coming
at.
in for a landing. The wheels are coming down. Let's go.
You're doing great, Toni. This is good. The good stuff. Good stuff.
So one thing that must change, you must become a master marketer. Otherwise, you stay invisible. So before I make an offer, I'm going to ask any comments on anything I've covered so far. I hope you see the sequence of going viral.
Anybody has a question or comment or anything for Toni, now would be the time to open up your mic and offer it, please.
Okay, then I'm gonna keep going.
Okay.
So,
Well, I'll just make one comment. I've been taking notes as I typically do, and I can't, not that I was trying to, but I can't find fault with anything that you said today. In fact, I'll say I endorse it. All of this has the Randy Sablich seal of approval. How's that?
yay, I love that. Thank you. Because it works, but it's work. The middle word in network is working is work. But it's fun if you do it right. It's fun. Zig Ziglar said you can have everything you want if you help enough people get what they want. And until Network and Action came into my life, I didn't fully get it. Now, I have the privilege of teaching entrepreneurs the power of the relationships. I had a guy who visited Network and Action come into my office this morning, and he says, I'm working with this person, this person, this person. He just visited one time. I'm just like, I'm blown away but if you don't put yourself in the middle, then people won't know who you are, what you do, and how to help you. So what happens if you don't implement this strategy? You stay invisible, you stay frustrated, you don't make the impact you want, and ultimately you don't make the money. 8 out of 10 startup businesses go out of business. Still, 8 out of 10. You know why? They don't learn to market and sell. They're too busy getting doctorate degrees, too busy getting certified. All this stuff's important. But ultimately, if you don't know how to market and sell, and if you don't have a solid community, David gets this, you don't have a solid community that keeps you when times are bad, you will flat out lose your mind and go get a job.
Mm-hmm.
So, who is ready to attract more clients through networking and make more money? Hands up. I see y'all hands up. All righty then. Yes. So, this is Day. Day is a productivity coach. He also is one of my sponsors this year. This is last year's chart of how Day's networking went viral from coaching with me. When I tell you nobody else as a coach can claim this is me all day long. I asked Day just the other day, I say, hey, I need part 2, because she's been with me 2 years now. I need part 2. She said, there's not enough paper. She said, but I'll think about how I can illustrate it in a way that, because it's gone viral. She's international. So I'm inviting you to join me November 2nd and 4th at the Viral Networking Conference. Come to Houston. Your plane, your car will bring you wherever you tell it. So VIPs are in Houston. I've contracted with a hotel that's a Hyatt that's $78 a night. You just can't beat that. And this is the only conference where I demand as the host that everybody leaves with appointments, period. Because I'm not going to be the one where you come, you spend money, you spend time, and you don't leave with new connections, new appointments, new guests for your podcast, come, and I will make sure it's beneficial. I'm giving you a VIP special that ended last Friday. But because Dave invited me onto your call, your VIP ticket is only $197, which includes lunch for 3 days in Houston. If you can't come to Houston, come online, $97, and you'll love it. You're still going to leave with appointments. We do breakouts. It's all built into the schedule. Everybody leaves with appointments from my conference. If you know you need to take your networking viral, you know you need to take your business viral, you know you need new community because you're stale in the community you've been in, join me. Register today. Use this QR code because that's direct to the $197 special. If you go on the website, it's $297. If you don't do it today, then it's $297 if you do it later. So do it now and show up, be up, follow up, and I guarantee you will blow up. Any questions, comments, thoughts? And anybody join me at the conference?
One thing is, so you said I actually put the hot link in the chat. So when you click on that, it does say $297. Is there a code or what do you do there, Toni?
Yeah, so it is a take action now option. So if you want it, scan the code, get it in your phone, and take action.
Okay, the other question I have is the lion's share of our views or our engagement occurs post this mastermind. So I think I shared that with you before. And this will be recorded. So the question is, how long, if somebody watches this video later, is it only, I mean, what's the time? What's the time frame?
If they go to the website, it's $297. See, this is the benefit for showing up, right?
Yeah, I don't mind that. I want to be clear.
Yeah, so it's $297 if you go to the website and register after the call.
Okay.
All right. Thank you for sharing the link as well. Yeah, you got to take action. People who are drastic get the benefits, and people who show up get the benefits.
All right. Well, let's give her a hand. Good job.
That was fun. Thank you.
Thank you. That was awesome. Good energy. Love it. Bernie, anybody have any questions? We got a few minutes here. I'm going to add Bernie because I saw your mic come open. So at this juncture, if you want to hop on stage or give Toni some feedback or ask any questions or whatever. And Don Huff, you haven't been on screen yet. So if you want to open up your camera and your audio, I'll let you introduce yourself because I don't think Toni's met you. Don is our visual communications director for our network. And so I want him to, and one of our leaders. So Bernie, go ahead.
Thank you. Toni, I'm overwhelmed, and that's why I'm not going to be interactive in this phase, but I've got to sit back and think about all this stuff, all these doors that you've opened up. But I will follow up with you, guaranteed, and I appreciate the presentation.
Awesome. Don't let it overwhelm you. Let you take action.
Right.
So, because we can help you flesh out the details. So don't worry about the details. Just show up.
So Don, you want to go ahead?
Don.
Hi, nice to meet you, Toni. Sorry I was late. Had an appointment before this. Very good talk. I'm a graphic designer and illustrator. Been coming to this group for a while. Was glad to hear you talking to Dave about his brand. He's got me trying to help create an identity for it.
Awesome.
And we will
Awesome.
focus more on warrior than zombie.
Oh
It
yeah, so
almost
you
made
caught
me
that.
say
I was gonna.
no.
You
I
caught,
was like,
you caught, yeah, you caught that, right, Don? That's good.
Yeah.
But Don and I talked about this. Funny, it's kind of fresh, top of mind because we were chatting about this because we're trying to tie all the bits together in a more cohesive fashion. And one of the easiest or best ways to do that is a picture, visually, as you said, with the red, with the drastic, with the, all this stuff. You can be doing a number of things, but again, your peeps need to find you in a way. And, if they see a picture that looks familiar, and that's what Don is applying some of his amazing creative energy to. Thank you, Dia. It looks like she's bailing on us here. So good to have you, Dia.
I love it.
Thanks. Bye.
Thank you, John.
Hi, bye. Any other thoughts, Don, other than that? Anything from your perspective? Again, Don is a graphics artist, a visual communicator. He's been doing this for a long time, even now educator in the space. So go ahead, Don.
No, that's it for right now. I enjoyed listening to you. I heard a lot I was familiar with, and a lot I know I'm not doing for promote my business.
Yeah. So thank you, Don. Appreciate that.
Any other thoughts, comments? I'm surprised Randy's not already opened his mic, knowing him, but or Ricky or any of the guys that in our regular participants here have anything to offer. Ruth, you're still able to talk. I don't know if you would like to open up your mic and introduce yourself. I did my best to introduce you in terms of the fact that you have money and stuff, but I think she's staying in incognito.
Incognito today.
In the
Okay.
audience, which is totally fine, by the way, for this mastermind. For those that are watching the video and replay, I'm totally fine with somebody who's willing to learn from the discussion and sit there. But, taking action, applying it, interacting is really where the value comes from. Don said something, and I think it's worth repeating, actually, is that we hear a lot of this stuff. I mean, I've got enough of a journey behind me, and we just recorded or just did episode 92 of Warrior versus Zombie, and I've networked with thousands of people, and I've heard all kinds of nuggets and things that some of which I heard before, some of which I heard again. But as we always say, and Randy knows this, is if you don't put it into action, it's just still, it's shelfware. It's not, or shelf help. It's not self-help. So Randy, did you have anything you wanted to offer?
Yeah, I was looking through my notes, and Toni was asking if we had any questions or points to raise, and I actually did. Point number 3 that you raised was speak more to sell more. Other people's stages, adding value. That doesn't mean, at least not to me, it doesn't mean just blabber, okay, and just say stuff, okay? I think the issue is to add value. So any opportunity that you have, whether it's just a one-on-one or in a small group, or if you actually get the opportunity to speak at an event, think about what you're going to say. Don't just talk on and on and on and on and on. Keep it short. Keep it with the intent of the conference. All right. Try to kind of, don't come out of blue and just say stuff that people go, "What the heck is he talking about?"
Exactly.
So I mean, I like I said, I take notes. That's just what I do. But I thoroughly enjoyed everything you had to say today, and all of your points resonated with me everywhere.
Well, Randy, you actually said something that I think is really significant, and I know you kind of stumbled into it. No, I'm just teasing you,
That's okay.
but the thing is, when you have a stage, again, as we were talking about earlier, you're educating ultimately either your potential client, your potential referral partner, your potential business partner. You never know.
Right.
And the thing is, the first step is what everybody that stays around Richardson Plano Networkers does, and that continues to come back, is they come in and they invest by adding value. That can
Right.
be being the member that connects all the time, being the member that educates all the time, being the member that just generally shows up, is present, and does things. And I think that's an opportunity that some people, by the way, are missing. And that is this: you can show up to this mastermind. And this mastermind, the group, the people that show up, I applaud and appreciate and love the fact that Tony's been willing to share and guide our discussion. That being said, and I appreciate Randy always contributing, I appreciate Don and others that are regular participants, but the thing is, step up and lead the conversation. And that can be
Right.
anybody has the opportunity to. All you have to do is say, hey, I'd like to lead the mastermind, and I'd like to focus on this, and I'd like to guide our discussion in this way, and be confident enough that you know that we're going to show up with you.
Right.
And we're going to do just what we did here with Toni.
Yep.
Toni is brilliant. She's got a
Right.
lot of experience. She prepared a lot of content. It was amazing. I loved it. But I would say that when somebody goes back and looks at this recording or reflects on what we did here, they're going to say, it's just like when I went to college. I learned more at Wharton from my classmates than I did for the professors. You with me? I mean, because we talk about applying what we're learning, and I think that's and many other things. So anyway, so thank you, Randy, for introducing that thought.
Can
Anybody
I
else?
add, let me add
Yeah,
something.
go ahead.
So a couple of weeks ago, I was on a virtual call with about 50 other entrepreneurs. And when the speaker asked for comments, I introduced myself and made a comment. Always make it up. Say something. Say who you are, what you do, be branded in the background. And from that, I got two one-to-ones. One of them lived in Houston, so he came to my anniversary and viral networking book launch, brought his wife. I believe he's coming to my conference just because I had the courage to be drastic, to open my line, say who I am, what I do, and make a comment, adding value.
Yeah, and that is brilliant. And the thing is, showing up to Randy's point too, is you can do that in social media as well. I mean,
Right.
Exactly.
we've had masterminds on how to drive traffic using LinkedIn, to drive traffic using Facebook, and the point is, it's not just your post or your chosen topic that is an opportunity. You can show up in the comments. You can engage
Right.
in this mastermind by Bernie's got, I guarantee you, from the replay on this, Bernie will get some traffic. I guarantee
Right.
it.
Absolutely.
Because he was on stage. Randy will get some traffic. Muhammad will get some traffic. Ricky will get some traffic. Don will get some traffic. It may not happen today. One of the things that Toni said that was, again, brilliant is timing is everything. You're investing. If you're wanting to take your money out of the market today, I know that he's not here, but Luke Trahan would tell you you're crazy because you don't buy high and sell low. You buy low and sell high. This is a buying opportunity, right? Timing is everything. So plant your seeds, look at it as an investment, realize that consistency. I love, by the way, Toni, I'm going to give you a plug here. I love what you say. Show up be up and follow up. I mean, that is a very simple equation to what you should be doing every day. And yeah, you can add some meat on those bones, but that's really it. Randy, did you have something?
Yeah, I was just going to add to my earlier comments is that, when you go to any networking event, whether it's our weekly or a large event like Toni conducts, be known for something. And what I mean by that is don't just show up and sit in the back of the room and never say anything, never talk to anybody, never eat lunch with everybody, and then come back and say, wow, that was a great conference. And somebody says, well, what did you learn? What did you put to practice? You have to network. That's why they're called networking conferences. And if you're shy, get over it. Okay, it's just time to put your big boy pants on, as somebody used to say, right?
Big girl pants.
Big girl panties. All right. It's not that hard. I mean, I know there's people here that are shy. Okay, so you don't have to eat the elephant all at once, one bite at a time. Just take some of the points that Toni brought up today and pick one, and at the next networking event, practice it. One at a time.
I've got a question, Toni. I'm naturally helpful. I enjoy being helpful. Should I feel guilty about making that strategic? Should I
being giving strategic?
Being helpful, but make it strategic. Make it beneficial to my business.
It should be your strategy.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Absolutely, 110%. First of all, it's in your name.
Yeah.
You should actually, if I were branding you, I would make GIVE caps.
Right.
All right. Because it's in your name.
Right. He's a caregiver.
You're a giver.
Right.
So,
practice what you preach, my good friend.
Yeah, let me give you the flip side of that. And number one, what Toni said is absolutely correct. And we always serve, servant leadership, giving to get. That's the thing is, there's a term that gets overused, and it's one of these things called sustainability. Do you want to keep giving? Okay, we all want to give, and if we're servants, we want to serve more, right?
Yep.
You go to church, they pass the offering plate. They don't pass. It's not just about it should never be about the money. If you go to this network, as I say, we're not for profit, but we're not for loss. We have to have things, and we didn't always do that, and we're not necessarily doing as well as we can. But if you want to do more, if you want to give more care, in your case, Bernie, then you have to have fuel and money and resources, and all those things is totally legit. And if you want to do more of it, and if you are serving first, then there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. And that's why I say you should be giving, and then God will give you the increase. I mean, the
Right.
world, you'll get that.
Yep.
Anybody else on that topic? Because I think that's a great question, Bernie.
I love the question. And if more entrepreneurs had the mentality that the three of us have, of giving before we receive,
Yep.
then businesses would not go out of business.
The world would be
We
a better
have a
place.
responsibility to give.
Right.
Why would you withhold something that could help me in my business, a person, a resource, or something that could help me in my business, whether I help you or not?
Right.
Because it's going to come from we know the book says it's better to give than to receive. Let me tell you something else. Remember, I told you earlier that the lady signed up for my top sponsorship. I had no idea who she was. Well, on Monday, one of my sponsors had to back out. I have a no refund policy, but he's one of my good friends, and he has colon cancer.
Oh my gosh.
He says, Toni, I know I signed the contract. You don't have to give me my money back. I was like, absolutely, I do. Absolutely. I mean, promptly send him his money back.
Right.
And then yesterday, this woman, I have no idea who she is. I'm meeting her this afternoon, signed up for his spot. Come on
See?
now.
Yep.
Don't tell me that giving doesn't work in business.
That's a God thing.
Yep.
All day long.
All day long, sister.
Yeah.
All day long.
It works both ways, right? You know, karma's a bitch or karma is beautiful.
Yep.
And
Mostly beautiful.
And it goes if you have the mindset that I know the people on this mastermind have, you know, it's a beautiful thing. It's you invest. That's why I say, if you really believe in what you're doing, we're not about, for example, at our network, we're not about spamming. Don't take our directory and add it to your Constant Contact or your MailChimp or whatever. On the other hand, if you're making your value a secret, which is what Tony kind of started with, then you're doing a disservice, because you've got something that's of value that nobody else knows about. Is that what we're supposed to do? I don't think so. I don't think that's giving. I think that's withholding. I think that's selfish.
Mm-hmm. Amen.
Amen.
And
So-
I told the group the other day I spoke to, if your business isn't making the money that you want, check your giving meter. And I'm not
Amen.
talking about giving to church, giving
Amen
to
again.
other entrepreneurs. Check your giving. If you're not, and I'm telling you, you need to capitalize the give in your brand.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool.
I agree. And I think that's why I say part of it is we also have to increase our having level, because when you get into giving, and I think that was what Bernie was struggling with a little bit, and that is that, you know, I retired 16 years ago to make an impact, and I was making a lot of money and having an impact with that money, and giving your time, giving your most valuable asset, giving of yourself, you know, you tend to be reluctant. I kind of know Bernie a little bit now, and I think you're kind of reluctant to say, okay, I want to give, but I need to get. And I think that the getting part is important because it sustains you.
Well, I'm going to close on this because I got to go for 1 o'clock.
Okay.
Thanks, Tony.
One of the reasons you network and you have the dates is so that you have the, I can say this in this generation, Rolodex of
Mhm.
people you can help with. So if you don't have nobody to help, you can't refer me to anybody. You haven't networked to, I tell my network all the time, network for your network. Don't network for you. Network
Right.
for your network. Then that network, same network is networking for you,
Right.
and everybody's going to win.
It all comes around.
It all comes around. Come to my event, especially you, Bernie. I got ideas and gifts for you.
There you
need
go,
to-
Bernie. You're fly first class too.
I gotta go, gentlemen. You guys,
All
Thank you,
right,
Tony.
thanks again.
Great job,
Thanks
Tony.
again, Tony.
Come back
right.
anytime.
thank
Come
you.
back anytime.
I will, and I'll
We
bring
love
a
you.
different topic.
Yeah.
Bye.
Awesome. And so
That
let
was great.
me close out here. We